My name is Franklin Hall. In 2013, I had a conflict with the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Falling into that big blob of goo was supposed to be my origin story, because on Earth 616, I am a formidable foe of the Avengers. However, I still have yet to get out of that goo, and my postponed vilification has made me even more appreciative of those who have been able to become the antithesis of those iconic superheroes. I have created this series in the efforts of digging deep into each of their lives and what's going on, especially right after a traumatic event regarding a clash with those superheroes. This is Post-Defeat! It's an undeniable fact that most supervillains have and will always be compared to Nazis. If they're not already Nazi, this is because our very world, pop culture, and real life will forever be affected by World War II. So it's clear to see what exact impacts that war made on our current generation. But do you know which impacts are a lot harder to identify? The impacts from World War I. If it wasn't for this war, we would never have called the Second War World War II. And yet we barely think about numero uno. Okay, sure, there's an obvious reason for that. The Second War was way more devastating and had a lot more historically significant moments, and so there's really no question why that was more of an impact. But that doesn't mean World War I should be just swept under the rug. Now, before I go any further, I just want to clarify that I'm not talking about actual stuff that happened in World War I. Sorry, Archduke Ferdinand. Sorry, Warhorse. Unless you actually weren't real. But I'm talking about what applies to us supervillains. And that was the involvement of Dr. Poison. This was the brave lady who went up against a frickin' god! I mean, come on! A god! And she lived to tell the tale. Which might have been a little bit difficult since you know. It is an injustice that the official textbook of supervillain history only has one teeny tiny paragraph on her. Meanwhile, there's multiple chapters and chapters about the World War II villains, like Red Skull and Arnim Zola, and Dr. Faustus, and Charlie Chaplin. But alas, I still must understand that the reason why there's much less attention to these events is because there are no longer people who witnessed the war firsthand alive. Except for the immortal people who I hang out with on a daily basis, but they didn't give two shits about that war. And you can only do so much research before you hit a dead end. Which is why I went out of my way to see if she had any ancestors. And after doing lots and lots of digging, I found a lineage. Dr. Poison's real identity was Isabelle Moreau. And after surviving the encounter with a demigod, she went on to have a daughter. And that daughter had a daughter. And that daughter had a dude. And that dude had a sex change. And that daughter had a daughter by the name of Morina Moru. So I used all of my resources to contact her, and she agreed to an interview and tell us everything she knows about her family's legacy. Let me start off by saying that that it was so graceful for you to agree to this, just thank you right off the bat. I know that this must have been a very hard decision for you, considering that you are not very public about your lineage.
Yes, well, it's because I don't give a shit if it's revealed to the public. All I care about is that I get to have a chance to advertise my products. My great-great-great-grandmama had a very sensible way of doing things, okay? It's just that that's a thing of the past now. It's long overdue that we get with the times. No longer is it cool to poison people with gas. That is a thing of the past. Nowadays, it's all about injecting people with the poisons. Yes, cut out the middleman. Now, all you have to do is just do it right away. Just inject, and there you go.
I see how it is. Yes, that is something that every long-time family business has to consider. That it is good to carry legacies, but it doesn't hurt to change for the sake of growing, learning, and surviving.
Amongst other things.
Oh yes, that's another part of evolving the business. Branching out. So, what did you branch out to?
Well, we're trying out various different drugs at the moment. Drugs that give you amnesia, and drugs that cause you to de-age, although we are considering discontinuing that one. But then we have drugs that make you do whatever the hell we want. And then you have drugs that make you only a little bit dead. Not completely dead, just a little bit. And depending on the condition of your body, you might die. It's kind of a 50-50 chance. That I've brought here to showcase.
Ooh, interesting. So who are you going to test it on? Is it going to be one of the interns? I suggest Larry. Larry is a douche prick.
Actually, I thought that since you're the host, maybe it would be, respectable of you to be the one to test the drug.
But didn't you say that I would almost die?
Almost. Possibly. Here you go.
Ah! Oh God, I see the light. Oh, I know I shouldn't walk towards it, but it's there. It's so tantalizing. Oh, I'm doing it. I'm going towards the light. So, Egghead, did you inform the others?
Yes, I told Shame and Bookworm. They both have agreed to spread the word and tell the others that Adam West is coming to beat us up. They are very exceptional at doing that.
But I told you that it would be a better bet to tell the Archer and Forceface.
Oh, why don't you execute me? Besides, do you really think that he would pass up the opportunity of using his automatopoeia violence again?
Yes, I know. It is so unexpected that he went when he did. He was doing so many projects.
Exactly. But at least that meant he got to go out, not as a wash-up, but as a iconic figure in pop culture.
Yes, I suppose it is good for him, but not good for us.
Wait a minute, look, it's one of those demon assholes. Don't worry, boys. You don't have to deal with Adam West because he's in heaven.
But you say that as if this isn't heaven.
Of course it's not. You guys are supervillains. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad that you're back. So I guess you do have the body necessary to survive the drug. Perhaps I'll let you in on our magnum opus of drugs. I present to you the truth-telling drug. Whoever is injected with this bad boy will have to tell the truth. Ooh, I see what's going on. You're trying to fight fire with fire, aren't you? What are you talking about? I'm talking about Wonder Over Yonder Woman, of course. The lady that your great-great-great-great-great-grandma bravely faced toe-to-toe against. Oh, yeah, definitely. Toe-to-toe. Yes, she definitely fought my great-great-great-grandma. In fact, she went out in a blaze of glory against her. Wow! Jiminy Krishkus! I had no idea that's how she went out. This is why I got you here, so you can divulge how great the first Dr. Poison was. We only know so little about her, but thanks to you, we will get to know all of the secrets about her awesomeness, such as that. I had no idea she had a rematch with her. How long after World War I was it? Up. I don't want to spoil anything just yet. You promised to experiment more with my drugs. I never said that. I only agreed to the first one. Too late, here you go. Oh God, oh, don't tell me it's the one where I have to tell the truth. It is. Now, tell me, Glaviton, what are you thinking of right now? I'm not thinking of anything. We're on land. No, I don't mean thinking. This accent. I mean thinking. Thinking. Oh, thinking. Well, I'm not telling her. Oh, God, the drugs are kicking in. I was thinking about how you are not giving me very many secrets and that you're wasting my time talking about all of these drugs instead of talking about the reason why I invited you here. Also, I was thinking about whether or not I should take advantage of the current trend of fidget spinner videos. Now I see how things are. All you are interested in is my history. You couldn't give a shit about her later generations. We are here too. Okay, sure, we didn't do anything as historically significant as the first Dr. Poison, but we are here, Zeus, damn it. There is more to us than what came before us, okay? We are our own individual people. Oh, God, I was only thinking about what's good for the show. This is exactly what I was trying to prevent. I was trying to consider how you feel about this. If you're not comfortable with revealing us any personal secrets regarding your family, you don't need to feel any pressure, alright? If you are apprehensive at any level, then you don't have to say anything. I understand that now. Don't beat yourself up. I can understand that you were probably all starstruck of getting to meet a direct descendant of one of the most prominent figures of history. Yes, exactly.
And it's just a shame that she's not treated like that now. She's just brushed under the rug, and she's barely regarded nowadays. She's fallen into obscurity.
Oh, I get it. You just wanted people to remember her again, and maybe have the younglings appreciate her, learn a thing or two about real villain history.
That's what I was trying to do, yeah. But like I said, we don't have to if you don't want to.
It's fine. She deserves more recognition than she actually gets. After all, she did go up against a demigoddess.
I know, right? Why aren't more people talking about it? It's not every day that a supervillain goes up against a mythological Greek god. I mean, come on! Greek gods are the reason why we all exist! Wonder Over Yonder Woman has been very well known for being associated with Greek gods. Without actually being in the mythology, she's sort of an addendum. But do you know what this means? This means the precedent for a rogues gallery chock full of the very inspiration for what we now know as superheroes and supervillains. Gods, mythological gods, demigods, mythological demigods, monsters, mythological monsters, nudity, mythological nudity. But the thing about ancient mythology is that it's a lot less easy to figure out than modern mythologies. And by that I mean nowadays it's very clear who the heroes are and who the villains are. Sure, sometimes you still get those gray areas, but back then, every area was a gray area. You couldn't tell who was a good guy and who was a bad guy. Sure, Zeus was the god who gave all his children life and got the whole thing started, but he was a fucking serial rapist. You got these gods who were over-disciplined to the humans, and then those gods who loved the humans, but more in the way that you love a dumb gerbil. Like, oh, look at that stupid little thing. It wouldn't survive at all in the forest. I'm just gonna keep it here in the cage and make it get fat. And don't get me started on Hades. Yes, I know he's usually the go-to god when you want a supervillain, but it turns out he actually didn't go that way. He was actually just all mopey, oh, woe is me. Oh, why the fuck do I have to be down here dealing with all these complaining ass souls? Oh, they won't shut the fuck up. I just want a freaking companion so I don't have to do this my whole goddamn eternal life. But for some reason, modern people thought he was all badass for that. So they made him a Disney villain, and a Kevin Sorbo villain, and a Wonder Woman villain, many times might I add. Luckily, we never saw him in this event. For now anyway, unless, this gets picked up for a sequel and we eventually do see him vilified. But whatever, it's fine, he's welcome to our side. It's just too bad that it doesn't matter what they do now. They're just trying to get with the times and make themselves more like superheroes and supervillains because that's what's cool now. It's hard to be themselves nowadays. But at least that means that the mythical figures that we thought were heroes all along are actually evil pricky douchebags like Hercules. Hercules! I bet the nutty professor's mom wouldn't keep doing that if she knew what Hercules did to Wonder Woman's mom!
Well then, why should you make a big deal about Greek gods if they're not enough like us?
I'm just comparing the difference of generations. You got the Greek god mythology, the Norse mythology, the Bible fact, and so on and so forth until you get to the King Arthur mythology, and then you got your Lord of the Rings mythologies, and then you got your Harry Potter mythologies, and Star Wars mythologies, and mythologos and mythologize with the Buck Rogers and the Flash Gordons, and then eventually you get to us.
I think you mentioned some mythologies that came after this mythology. Also, your mythology and my mythology are two separate mythologies.
Look, we're getting way too technical now. Let's move on to a different subject before my head friggin' explodes.
Ah, I guess you're really anxious, aren't you? About the glorious, honorable death the first generation Dr. Poison endured.
Yes, all we know at the moment is that she was the right-hand man of some German dude, and she was the supplier of all the chemical warfare type weaponry. Yes, she was revolutionizing the war. It's just too bad that she wasn't more surveillant of her surroundings, 'cause otherwise she would have spotted that spy hole.
Ah, yes. You are talking about that no-good American spy who was trying to thwart my great-great-great-grandmama's plans.
Well, I can't shit on the spy too much, because he was a representative of America, and I'm from Canada, and those two countries are totally bros with each other, you know, having a bit of a bromance, you know, so I can't really complain about that too much, but I can complain about him being a spy on behalf of the hero side. Who does he think he is, trying to divulge your ancestors' important information? And to think he almost got his comeuppance and died in the middle of the ocean.
Yes, but unfortunately that would not be the case, because somehow, against all odds, the location where he crashed his plane happened to be right next to a frickin' island of Amazonians.
You know, I know a thing or two about Greek mythology. I mean, not too much, you know, I'm not really that much of an expert, I wouldn't say, but I'm not completely familiar with the Amazonians.
They are the beings that Zeus created to distract the humans from having more wars.
Wait, you mean to tell me that the Amazonians are sex toys?
If you want to get really fucked up and technical about it, then yeah, kind of. But what's so great about the Amazonians is that they went against that. They fought to not be sex toys anymore. They would no longer be there just to pleasure humans. Instead, they would make their own society with their own principles and ways of living, with their own feelings and thoughts, like they always did, but now they can live without dealing with those humans.
Hey, I don't blame them for wanting to keep to themselves after being objectified all the time, especially when you're living in a paradise that has armadillos.
Why are you emphasizing on the fact that Themyscira has armadillos?
Hey, armadillos are awesome. But anyway, enough of glorifying that spy asshole. All the attention should go to your great-great-great-grandmama. I mean, right now, most historians are very foggy on the exact details. There were so many different factions in World War I, we're not completely sure who she was associated with.
Well, allow me to shed a little light on that subject.
Oh, yes, Finally, some revelations! So tell us, which warlord was she associated with? Was it Perdecaton? Or was it General Immortus? Oh, don't tell me. It was General Zell, wasn't it? Yes, that was the warlord. No, it was Wade Ealing, right? Wade Ealing. No, wait, no, that would be stupid. He's supposed to be in modern times. Who is it? Oh, the anticipation is killing me.
All right, calm down. I'll tell you already. Yes, you are correct. She did work for a general, but it wasn't any general. It was General Eric Ludendorff.
Oh, a real person from actual history, not fictional history, but actual history. Oh shit. Okay, so here's that iffy part of the show where we try to talk about real bad guys. It's kinda tricky. I mean, it seems really easy. I mean, everyone does that all the time with Hitler. Oh, Hitler was killed by that guy from Freaks and Geeks with the help from that guy who directs bad horror movies. So since we're used to that, it should be no surprise that we would see this depiction where another prominent war figure was killed by a friggin' demigod who hangs out with armadillos. But the problematic thing about it is that it doesn't line up with real historical events. Yes, I know this doesn't line up either, but at least Hitler died around that same period of time that the movie depicted. It just obviously wasn't from the same cause. But with General Ludendorff, he fucking survived World War I. Hell, he even made it all the way to World War II. That's when he died. Unless... oh my god! What if this is supposed to be all irony? Because Wander Over Yonder Woman thought for sure that General Frederick Wilhelm, you can't do that scream. But anyway, she was so sure that Wilhelm Ludendorff was really Ares, but was completely flabbergasted when it turned out it wasn't. So that big irony could be it was only after killing him that the real Ares saw this as an opportunity to take on the identity of General Ludendorff. This is a tip-top theory with no flaws. Except for one, it would go against the spirit of everything this event was building up towards. Furthermore, how come every adaptation of Hitler makes sure to keep the toothbrush mustache, but they completely forgot about Ludendorff's curly mustache?
But you have a thing against real people? Not every villain gets to be one from a fictional comic book.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of morally questionable because real people were affected by that.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're pretending he didn't do all of that bad stuff. He still did it. We're just pretending that he almost did even worse things. But he didn't, thanks to, that person.
You mean Wander Over Yonder Woman?
Yeah, sure, Wonder Woman, or whatever the hell you like to call her.
Well, as long as it was made sure that the real historical figure that your great-great-great-great-grandma was working for was handled with 100% realism.
Yeah, it's not like they made him a god or something.
Yeah, is that what you actually did? Did you guys actually make him a god?
Well, that would have been cool to see a god versus god fight. Oh, pardon me, I mean demigod. Because naturally, if he was a god, of course it would have to be Ares, am I right?
Yeah, it would make sense if he's Ares. Ares was the god of war. But it would make no sense for him to be here because the whole point of this historical event was to show that us humans are worth saving despite our flaws. Especially that war one. That one is a huge one. Just a big ass problem we've got. And yet, we've got enough positive traits in us to be worth saving. Saving by those demigods. And so it's important for Ares to not be here. Because if he was, then that would just mean, oh, you can't blame us humans because we were hypnotized by Ares. It's not that we actually wanted to go to war. We're not really that corrupt. We were under the spell of a god. That concept would ruin the whole thing. So it is good that he wasn't there.
Yes, so when Wonder Woman killed Londendorf, she had to face the facts that humans are flawed. And they're not as simple as she once thought. But not all of them want to kill each other. There are plenty that want to live the good life and be good people. And those are the ones worth saving. But if that means saving all of the humans, including the less pure humans, then so be it.
That's really heroic for you to say.
That's not me talking. I'm just talking logically for a logical plot conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it would have been cool if there actually was an Ares. I mean, that's what everything was leading up towards. I mean, we saw all of these story time books about it. Oh, Ares this, Ares that. Oh, we gotta kill Ares. Is this guy Ares? I don't know. Is he Ares? Let's find out. I mean, after all of that build up to Ares, sure, it would have been awesome to actually get a payoff of that. But you know what? It's alright that we didn't get that, because it served the overall plot that it wasn't him.
Ah, yes. You know, I forgot that there still are people out there like you who still care enough to learn about these historical events, despite everyone else forgetting about it and ignoring it. But not you, no matter how obscure that past is. And do you know what that means? You earned it. You earn to find out how my great-great-great-grandmother went out in a blaze of glory.
Yes, this is what I've been waiting for. I mean, if you want to.
Oh, I definitely want to. First, we must reiterate what happened before. The first time my mother got introduced to the likes of Wonder Woman was when she was just about to deploy her master of all collection of bombs.
Yes, but then Wonder over Yonder Woman had to go and ruin it all.
She didn't even do it on her own. She had her spy boy toy do it for her.
Well, I mean, he did do it for America and for the right of human living, so I can't be too mad at that. You know, like I said, Canada is best bros with America, for the time being anyway, and I would kind of like to keep it that way.
But whatever, her boy toy exploded. so she was left on her own to potentially destroy my ancestor. But she didn't, because she saw the humanity in her. And sure, I don't exactly share that belief 100%, but I've got to admit, if it wasn't for her sparing my ancestor's life, I would have never existed. My mother would have never existed. Her mother would have never existed. And her mother would have never existed. And her mother would have never existed. I'm not sure if I've already gotten to the first Dr. Poison or not, but you get what I am saying.
Yes, you and all of your previous Dr. Poisons owe it to Wonder Woman sparing the first Dr. Poison.
I'll give her that much credit. It's just too bad that my ancestor didn't give her an old-fashioned mad gassing. Instead, she just ran away. She fled the premises. That's the only thing that makes me shamed to be a part of the Dr. Poison lineage.
Well, I mean, if she did screw over Wonder Woman, then Wonder Woman would have been like, you know what, fuck you, alright? I was gonna let you live, but since you're being a douche fuck, I'm gonna make you dead now. There you go, I Man of Steel'd you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It would only make sense if she built up a proper revenge for taking away her precious war material.
Yeah, I mean, that's when World War I freaking ended. At least according to this event, not in real life. Like I said, don't want to step on any toes.
This is why her second encounter would be the more honorable way to end a supervillain superhero fight. She went all out in the fisticuffs. Yes, she was in a big badass mech robot suit that had all of these gassing bombs. It was incredible. But then Wonder Woman pulled her out of the suit and then was like, your reign of terror will end here, Dr. Poison. And that's when she took the suit and threw it on my ancestor, and a huge explosion happened. A giant explosion that cratered the earth. Yes, it caused a crater, and my ancestor was completely obliterated. No remainings of her. But little did Wonder Woman know that the first Dr. Poison had already given birth to the second Dr. Poison, who gave birth to the third Dr. Poison, and so on and so forth, until you have yours truly. And that, Graviton, is the story of the Dr. Poisons.
Oh, bravo! Bravo! Oh, that was beautiful! Oh, yes! Yes! This is what I wanted! Everyone will know about the real history that went down on that day! Did you hear that, Hamulet Zemo? This is how you honor your lineage, instead of just ignoring it!
Are you really going on that tirade again?
Zemo, you heard what I said?
Well, it wasn't easy, considering you superglued a purple sock onto my face.
Oh, you still haven't managed to get that off, huh?
Nope, it's on there real good. I have dealt with your bitching and moaning all the time about how I ignore my lineage. Well, guess what? I march by the beat of my own drums. So what if I don't wield a sword, or conquer countries, or fight supervillains like my ancestors? I don't even believe in my lineage. But what I do believe in is that I am a supervillain in my own way, and that way is to reveal horrifying secrets to people. That is how I defeat them. So do you want to know a secret regarding the Dr. Poisons?
What's he talking about, Marina?
Nothing. He's talking about nothing. He's just lying to you, Graviton. Don't believe him.
Oh, I'm not saying any lie, because I'm not saying anything. This reel of footage will do all the talking. What is that?
Nothing. It's probably just his sex tapes.
No, I keep all of my sex tapes on the cloud. I'm not an idiot. This is footage of an old interview that was filmed 100 years ago. And now I give it to you, Graviton, so you can know the real truth about the Dr. Poisons, and not the bullshit that the latest Dr. Poison has been feeding you.
No, don't do it, don't!
Oh my god! Oh! I had no idea that Baron Zemo's lineage were a lot like me, using their journalistic skills to pick the brain of the greatest villains living at the time. They have interviewed the likes of Moriarty, Harry Love, Alfonso Big Boy, Turnbull, Neville Sinclair, and I think they owed Vandal Savage some money. And it was Amulet's great-great-grandfather who actually managed to achieve an interview with the legendary demigod in question. Roll the footage!
Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Pre-Victory. So here he is, Ares.
Yes, I am Ares, proud and true, but you can be all formal and refer to me as my civilian name. Oh, it's so adorable, those little humans. Sir Patrick Henry.
Oh, now as you know, this is a very shocking surprise to a lot of people, including myself, because we thought for sure that General Ludendorff was Ares.
Oh, what's cooler than a switcheroo where you thought that the evil tyrant was Ares, when in reality you would have never expected that it was the weak, sickly British man who wanted peace amongst the war. It would have been too obvious if it was the warlord, so of course it wouldn't be him. Instead, it would be the guy who you thought was trying to bring peace to the world at large.
Yes, well, the problem with that is that because it was entirely too obvious that Ludendorff would be Ares, that you wouldn't expect that. Instead, you would expect that it would be the unexpected. We are getting very used to that type of twist.
How can you get used to a type of twist if it hasn't been used yet? You're forgetting this is 1918. Cinema is not at where it will be in the next 100 years. As if that would actually happen. I kid me. None of you will survive this eradication of you disgusting humans.
You know, I don't really like being a part of your elaborate joke. So, to rebuttal against your insults, I will point out that your so-called twist is still not really that great, because wouldn't it be a more serving twist if there was no Aries? Ugh. If I do fail in my plans, I would imagine that mentality will stay for a very long time. So to that, I say this. I'm not the one who causes all of the war. I am the one who suggests it to the humans. I'm not controlling them. I'm merely suggesting these ideas to them. This is what justifies my existence. Sure, I'm still manipulating them, of course, but I'm not making them do it. I'm just giving them the idea to do it. They don't have to go with the idea of genocide, eradicating other countries, but they do it anyway. Because I am proving a point to my fellow gods that humans are savages. They are not worth protecting because of how mindless and evil they are. But wait a minute, that's kind of being hypocritical. You killed all of the gods that disagreed with you. When humans have wars, they just fight random strangers. They're not thinking about who they're killing. But you, on the other hand, you are killing your family. Well, to rebuttal your statement, I will say this. I don't even need to talk to you. You are below me. I'm just doing this because I am bored, and I have a little bit of free time before I go back to finally ridding the world of all human existence. And now that my leisure time is done, I will no longer humor you and go back to fighting the good fight. I won't stop you. After all, I like to kill people too. It's just that I usually stick to just the goody two-shoes ones, you know, those guys. Not everybody. That would be kind of overkill. Sorry, my limited time of acknowledging those below me has run out. Okay, just be careful. I heard rumors that there is some kind of warrior out there who claims to know who you are and wants to kill you. Oh, whoever this warrior is, he humors me. Oh, he will be commended for giving me some laughs, and then he will be killed. A part of the rumors is that it's a woman. What? A woman? Oh, but this would only mean one thing. The God Killer. What is a God Killer? That is not for humans to know. This is only on a God-to-know basis. But thank you for this information. You have done a service to me. I will take care of this she-warrior immediately. And so that wraps up another thrilling episode of Pre-Victory with your host, me, Baron Zemo. Thank you for your time, Ares. Fuck you. I don't know if that term exists yet. Well, I know fuck exists, and you exists, so fuck you!
Wait, that's it? That was the revelation? That there really was an Ares?
Yeah, that was it. That was the revelation. I tried so hard to conceal it, but Zemo got the best of me.
It's not that bad of a secret that there turned out to be an Ares the whole time. I mean, I did have that cool badass theory that could still be true. Although, if Ares did disguise himself as Ludendorff onward after that event, then how did he die in 1937?
You might as well know everything now. Not only was there an actual Ares, but also, as soon as he was revealed to Wonder Woman immediately killed him.
What?
No, not without having a huge, big-ass battle. I mean, it was very extensive, the battle, and there were a lot of twists and turns during the fight. I mean, that was when Wonder Woman found out that she was not made out of clay. She was born from Zeus as a living weapon against evil gods, such as Ares. And so by that, she is the half-brother of Ares, making it all the more meaningful when she has to kill him.
So instead of using a big-ass god-killing sword, she used her big-ass god-killing self. How exactly did that happen? I mean, it's no easy feat to kill a god.
Well, you see, she killed him with a fidget spinner?
A what?
Hey, you said it yourself. You wanted more fidget spinners on the show.
Psst, Graviton, I have some advice for you.
Oh, no, not you again.
Yes, I'm still here. Now listen to me, Graviton. If you really want all of the truth out of Dr. Poison, then why don't you give her some of her own serum?
That's not a bad idea, but that's kind of harassment.
Okay, then, I'll do it myself.
Ah! Oh, God! You plick!
Toodaloo, chums. I am off to form the Thunderbolts.
I highly doubt that is in Marvel Studios' pipeline.
Listen, I just want to clarify that this was not my idea, and I do not condone the actions of Zemo. And to show that I am very sorry about that, I will also inject myself with the truth serum. Sometimes I think I might be a furry. Oh, God. I'm glad I got that out of my chest.
Well, now I'm not so embarrassed about my secret. The secret that my great-great-great-grandmama did not have that glorious death that I told you. That was all a lie.
What?
That death was not given to Dr. Poison. Ares was the one who had that death. He was the one who was obliterated by Wonder Woman, causing a crater in the earth.
So, you lied to me? So, but then how did Dr. Poison die? Was she killed by Wonder Woman a different way?
No, she never met Wonder Woman ever again after that fateful night when she fled from her. Instead, remember I told you about the de-aging drug?
Yeah? You said you didn't want to talk about it because it was very dark and personal.
Well, here is the reason why. You see, my ancestor, the first Dr. Poison, was the one who invented that drug, and she made the horrible choice of experimenting on herself.
So that means she de-aged into a baby.
Even farther than a baby.
She de-aged from a baby to a fetus?
Even farther than that.
To a sperm?
And then?
Nothing?
Exactly. It was literally the opposite of death. That is how she died. She didn't go out in a blaze of glory. She turned into a baby, and then a little sickly fetus, and then a little sperm, and then nothing.
No wonder you were ashamed. That's a really sad but stupid way to go out. I don't blame you, but doesn't it feel good to get it off your chest? Like how I got out of my chest that I may or may not be a furry. And, I mean, that was probably a great learning experience for your lineage, right?
Yes, we learned that this is a type of drug that's way too dangerous to handle. So we discontinued it ever since. That means I don't have to deal with the embarrassing way the very first Dr. Poison went out.
Exactly. And not only is it good to deal with problems out in the open, but also it's all for the truth. Getting the truth out there for everyone to know. And now people know the truth regarding Dr. Poison.
Yes, the badass moments and the stupid campy moments.
The whole shebang.
And who knows, maybe I will be the one to give it to Wonder Woman for not giving her a more dignified death, instead of just going out the Benjamin Button way.
I mean, it's definite that you're gonna have sequels. It's just not known whether or not you'll be in them. But what's for certain is that you shouldn't be too gloaty that you had a home run after a whole bunch of failures. Except for that first one, that's kind of arguable. And the third one, that's a little bit more arguable. But this one is definitely a hit. Don't be overconfident now and think that now every single other attempt will definitely be a home run. I mean, look at the other team. Us, the Marvel guys. Sure, we've had a lot of hits, but we've also had a few misses. And we're sure to have a few more. So keep that in mind and prepare yourself for that.
Why do you always go meta at the end?
Hey, it's my thing. Anyway, I'm about to go to a convention. Do you want to tag along? We can wear furry costumes.
Let me guess. Are you going to be an armadillo?
You bet your ass I'm gonna be.
Okay, fine. Then I guess I'll be... what's a good animal that has poison? I know snakes are pretty good, but no, there's already been too many villains that dress up like snakes. Let me see here. So many choices.
How about a platypus? It's the only mammal that has poison.
Okay, fine. I'm a platypus.
Yay! So after experiencing these new shocking revelations, some that make the history better to look back at, and others that makes it a little worse, it's time that we go back to talking about recent events. And this one is regarding a whole community of villains. Yes, it's very inspirational and adorable. But tragically, this community has recently gone through a very devastating loss. I will be there to see if they can pick up the pieces. Next time on Post Defeat